October 8th, 1956 was Game 5 of the World Series where the New York Yankees were taking on the Brooklyn Dodgers. And the series was tied 2-2 when Don Larsen took the mound and did something no one has ever done before or since when he pitched the only perfect game in a World Series, making him a legend in baseball forever. We're going to dive into this historical game that lasts for the ages on Daily Sports History. Welcome to Daily Sports History. I'm Ethan Reese, your guide as you daily learn more about sports history, increasing your sports knowledge. And today's trivia question is, how many perfect games have been pitched in MLB history? So to start the story, who was Don Larsen? Well, he was born in Indiana in a lower middle class family and actually excelled more at basketball than he did baseball, as he made the All-Metro team in high school and got several college scholarship offers to play basketball. But a scout for the St. Louis Browns actually saw potential in Don Larsen and signed him to a minor league deal in 1947 out of high school, signing a $850 signing bonus, roughly about $12,000 today, to play baseball over going to college to play basketball. But it was a struggle through the minor leagues, as each year in the minor leagues he'd bounce around from team to team, and he actually got drafted during this time by the Army to be part of the Korean War and spent 1951 to 1953 in the U.S. Army. But upon being discharged, he actually was able to make the Major League roster for the first time for the St. Louis Browns, and when he made his debut appearance on April 17, 1953, pitching 5 innings, giving up 3 runs, striking out 3 in a no decision, but the Browns did win that first game. In his rookie season, he finished with a record of 7-12 with a 4.16 ERA and 96 strikeouts, starting 22 games of the 38 he appeared in, and finished first on the team in innings pitched and complete games, and second in strikeouts. But he also had success hitting, as he batted .284 with 3 home runs and 81 at-bats, and had a 7-game hit streak at one point. Now, the next season, the Browns actually moved to Baltimore and became the Baltimore Orioles. And again, Larsen struggled. He went 3 for 21 that season with a 4.37 ERA in 29 games. It was the fewest wins by a pitcher with at least 20 losses since 1916. And he still holds that, and a record that he still holds to this day. He led the majors in losses and finished third in highest ERA, as the Orioles were a rough team. They only won 54 games that season, but 2 of his wins happened against the New York Yankees, who were shaking up their team the next year, trading for Don Larsen as part of a 17-player trade. As in those 2 wins against the Yankees, they saw some potential. But Larsen quickly got some shoulder issues and had to be sent down to the minors, but would work his way back up to the team. And in the 1956 season, he would actually have a record of 11-5 with an ERA of 3.26, helping lead the Yankees to the World Series versus the Brooklyn Dodgers. In the first 2 games, the Dodgers won pretty handedly against the Yankees, but the Yankees came back in Game 3 and 4 at Yankee Stadium to tie the series, then headed into Game 5, where Larsen was given the chance to start again. Now, this wasn't his first time starting for the World Series, as in 1955, he had actually started Game 4 for the Yankees versus the Dodgers that year, pitching 4 innings in a losing effort, and the Dodgers would go on to win that series. And until that day, Don didn't actually know he was going to pitch. The way they would do it is their manager, Casey Stengel, would put a baseball in the cleats of whoever was going to pitch that day. And so he showed up and saw a baseball, and he knew, hey, I'm starting. Now, the game was close, as many World Series games are, and in the 4th, Mickey Mantle actually came up and gave the Yankees a lead, hitting a home run. And the Yankees would again score in the 6th inning, giving them a 2-0 lead. But in the 2nd inning, Jackie Robinson hit a line drive to third base, which he just missed out on getting on first by a step. In the 5th, Mickey Mantle had to make a spectacular play in center field, making a backhanded catch to continue the perfect game. And Larsen knew, as long as he was keeping in control, he had a team that was supporting him to make him to have the chance to do whatever he needed. And when the 9th inning came up, everyone knew the perfect game was happening, but no one said anything. The Dodgers' Carl Furlio flied out. Then Roy Campanella grounded out to second. And then the last batter, Dale Mitchell, was struck out for the final out of the perfect game. Now this is made even more iconic by catcher Yogi Berra leaping into Larsen's arm, and is a lasting memory for both Berra and Larsen. And at the time, TV wasn't really recorded as it is today, and it wasn't until 2006 when we actually got a recording of this actual game, as it was just found in a canister marked New York trip in the broadcasting storage facility. And it's great. If you get a chance, you can actually go to YouTube and type in World Series Perfect Game, and you can watch the entire game if you would like. After this game, though, the Dodgers would come back and win Game 6, but the Yankees would win Game 7, winning the World Series and giving Larsen the Most Valuable Player award. And Larsen later told the media that he didn't even know that it was called a perfect game. He just thought it was called a really good no-hitter. Major League Baseball history, there have only been 24 perfect games, and the chances of pitching a perfect game is 0.01%. It's very unlikely and does not happen very often. That doesn't mean that someone can, in the future, pitch a perfect game, as even Don Larsen wasn't thought to be a great pitcher to pitch a perfect game, as after this, he struggled the rest of his career. He would stay with the Yankees for a few more years. In 1957, he would pitch Game 7 of the World Series, but only lasted 2 1/3 innings. In 1958, he would pitch the third game in the World Series, winning that World Series. And following in the 1960 season, he would be traded to Kansas City, and then again go to the Chicago White Sox, and bounce around to the San Francisco Giants, the Houston Astros, the Baltimore Orioles, and finishing his career with the Chicago Cubs, and ended his career with an 81-91 win-loss record with a 3.78 earned run average. So this just goes to show you, as long as you're there, you have a chance to make history. You may not be the best player or a Hall of Famer, but Don Larsen will always be remembered for his perfect game. Sometimes that one moment is all you need. And I want to thank you for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a rating or review wherever you're listening. It really brings joy to my face. And if you want, you can tell us a topic you would like us to cover and your name, and we'll get that done just for you. And come back tomorrow for more daily sports history. And to answer today's trivia question, how many perfect games have been pitched in Major League Baseball history? And the answer is 24, but only one has been done in the World Series. That was Don Larsen.